Good morning, dear students. Very good morning, everyone. We are back again in a fresh mood. Let us start with chemistry, dear friends. The first thing, relative atomic mass. So, relative atomic mass or the atomic weight of an element is the number of times one atom of an element is heavier than 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon. That's carbon 12. We are comparing it with carbon 12 isotope. Therefore, relative atomic mass is equal to mass of one atom of an element, one atom of an element, divided by 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon, divided by 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon 12. And when this relative atomic mass is expressed in grams, when this relative atomic mass is expressed in grams, then it is called as gram atomic mass or gram atom of that element or gram atom of that element. Now, relative molecular mass. Now see your friends, relative atomic mass was related to one atom and this relative molecular mass will be related to one molecule. So relative molecular mass of an element or a compound is the number of times one molecule of a substance is the number of times one molecule of a substance is heavier than 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon, 1/12 the mass of an atom of carbon. Therefore therefore relative molecular mass is equal to mass of one molecule of an element, one molecule of an element, or you can call it as one molecule of a substance, one molecule of an element or one molecule of a substance divided by 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon, divided by 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon. So this relative molecular mass of a substance is expressed in grams, then it is called as gram molecular mass. When it is expressed in grams, then it is called as gram molecular mass or gram molecule of that substance or gram molecule of that substance. Now friends, we are going to take these quantities or we are going to take these units for the different calculations. So let us see these easy calculations. The calculations are very easy. We are just going to enjoy it. So let us start with the calculations. So, calculations of relative molecular mass of a compound. Relative molecular mass. We are going to take out the mass of a molecule, mass of a molecule. And you know that molecule is of compound or a substance. So, relative molecular mass of a compound, that is the molecular weight we are going to find out. How it is done? We are just going to simply add together the relative atomic masses. We are going to simply add together, addition of all the atomic masses of the atoms present in that one molecule. We are going to add the relative atomic masses of all the atoms present in that molecule, and that is going to give us the total relative molecular mass for that compound or for that molecule. Example, let us find out the molecular mass of carbon dioxide. The molecular mass of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is made up of one atom of carbon and two atoms of oxygen. One atom of carbon and two atoms of oxygen. So we are going to add the masses of carbon and the total mass of two atoms of oxygen. Mass of one atom of carbon and mass of two atoms of oxygen. So atomic mass, so the atomic weight of carbon is 12. Atomic weight of carbon is 12 and that of oxygen is 16. That of oxygen is 16, but two atoms of oxygen is equal to 2 into 16. 2 into 16. So our calculations become 12 plus 2 into 16. 12 plus 2 into 16. So 12 plus 32, that is equal to 44. And therefore the relative molecular mass or the molecular weight of carbon dioxide molecule is 44. So that is why many times in calculation directly we take the molecular weight of carbon dioxide as 44. But how is it? By the addition of relative atomic masses of carbon and two oxygen atoms, that is 16 into 2 and plus this carbon 12, that is 12 plus 32, 44. 12 plus 32, 44. Dear friends, in the same way, let us find out the relative molecular mass of H2SO4. H2SO4 consists of 2 hydrogen atoms, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen. 2 hydrogen, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen. So the relative molecular mass will be the sum, the addition of, yes, atomic weights of hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. So here we start. So the molecular weight of H2SO4 is equal to 2 hydrogen. So 2 into atomic weight of hydrogen. 2 into atomic weight of hydrogen. That is 2 into 1. Atomic weight of hydrogen is 1. Therefore 2 into 1. Plus atomic weight of sulfur. How many sulfur are there, dear friends? There's only 1 sulfur in H2SO4. So plus 32 plus 4 oxygen atoms. So 4 into atomic weight of oxygen. 4 into atomic weight of oxygen. So it becomes 4 into 16. 16 is the atomic weight of oxygen. And therefore our calculations are 2 into 1, 2 plus 32 plus 4 into 16, 64. 2 plus 32 plus 64, that is equal to 98. And therefore the relative molecular mass or molecular weight of H2SO4 sulfuric acid is 98. Just go through the problem, everyone. See how is it solved. Yeah, and when you solve these problems, 4 or 5 problems, the values will be learned by you. You will remember them automatically. Okay. And many times you will directly come. Carbon dioxide 44. Sulfuric acid 98. Sodium hydroxide not yet solved. Sodium hydroxide is 40. We can solve it just now. Sure. Let us move ahead for the third problem, dear friends. The relative molecular mass of CaCO3 So it consists of, or it will be the sum of atomic mass of calcium or atomic weight of calcium plus atomic weight of 1 carbon. There's only 1 carbon atom, and atomic weights of 3 oxygen atoms. 3 oxygen atom, that is 3 into atomic weight of oxygen. Atomic weight of calcium is 40. Carbon, we have seen it's 12. And oxygen is 16. 3 into 16. So 40 plus 12 plus 48, that is equal to 100. CaCO3 is 100. Therefore, relative molecular mass or molecular weight of calcium carbonate CaCO3 is 100. And you know, dear friends, this relative molecular mass of calcium carbonate CaCO3 is used in one of the calculations, that is your hardness of water. You will have to always take this value. CaCO3, the molecular weight is 100. The molecular mass is 100. So keep this in mind. CaCO3 is 100. Sulfuric acid 98. Carbon dioxide 44. Very good. So you're getting it nicely. Good. The next one, molecular mass of sodium carbonate Na2CO3. Sodium carbonate Na2CO3 consists of 2 sodium atoms, 1 carbon atom, and 3 oxygen atoms. So you need to add all these 3, isn't it? So sodium, the atomic weight is 23. So 2 into 23. 2 into 23. There are 2 sodium atoms, dear friends. So 2 into 23. Carbon, we know there is only 1 carbon, and the mass of 1 carbon over here, or weight of 1 carbon atom, is 12. So 2 into 23 plus 12 plus 3 oxygen atoms are there. There are 3 oxygen atoms. So 3 into 16. 3 into 16, that is 48. So it becomes 2 into 23, 46 for sodium. 1 carbon, that is 12. And 3 oxygen atoms, that is 16 into 3, 48. So it becomes 46 plus 12 plus 48, that is equal to 106. That is equal to 106. So the relative molecular weight of sodium carbonate, RMM, is 106. Is 106. Very nice. Now, dear friends, the next type of problem calculation of percentage composition of a compound. Percentage composition of a compound. So friends, very clear. Firstly, we know the method how to find out the relative molecular mass, or simply the molecular mass of a compound. The molecular mass of a compound is the sum of the masses of all the atoms, sum of the masses of all the atoms. So we have found out the relative molecular mass of carbon dioxide is 44, is 44. Now from this 44, we need to find out the percentage of carbon and the percentage of oxygen, and that is called as the calculation of percentage composition of a compound. Firstly, let us see what is percentage calculation or percentage composition of a compound. We know that the total mass of carbon dioxide is 44. In this 44, how much percentage carbon is present and how much percentage of oxygen is present, that is nothing but you are going to find out the percentage composition of a compound. How much percentage of each atom is present or each element is present. That is nothing but the percentage composition of a compound. Let us see the first problem. Calculate the percentage composition of carbon dioxide. That means you are asked to find out the percentage of carbon and percentage of oxygen in the given compound. Percentage of carbon and percentage of oxygen atom. Is it clear? So the total mass of carbon dioxide we have seen is 44. One carbon, that is 12, plus 2 atoms of oxygen. So 2 into 16. 16 is the atomic mass of oxygen. So 12 plus 32. 12 plus 32, that is 44. We have seen this. So in this 44, see dear friends, in this 44 grams of carbon dioxide, 12 grams, sorry, in this 44 grams of carbon dioxide, 12 grams of carbon is present. Yes or no? 44, total is 44. Out of this, what is the mass of carbon? 12. So 44 grams of carbon dioxide contains 12 grams of carbon. 12 grams of carbon. We are going to find out the percentage. So if 44 contains 12, 44 carbon dioxide contains 12 grams of carbon, how much will 100 grams of carbon dioxide contain? 44 grams of carbon dioxide contains 12 grams of carbon. Therefore, 44 grams of carbon dioxide will contain x gram of carbon, x gram of carbon. So just do the cross multiplication. So it will become 12 multiplied by 100 divided by 44. 12 multiplied by 100 divided by 44, that is 27.27% of carbon. Percentage of carbon is 27.27 in this 44 grams. Now, this 44 grams contain 32 grams of oxygen. 44 gram contains 32 grams of oxygen. See over here, isn't it? Therefore, 100 grams of carbon dioxide will contain x gram of oxygen. Therefore, x is equal to 32 multiplied by 100 divided by your 44, cross multiplication, isn't it? So it is 72.73% of oxygen. So your carbon dioxide contains 27.27% of carbon and 72.73% of oxygen. And the total, when you add this 27.27 plus 72.73 is your 100. So in this way, we find out the percentage composition of a compound. It's not every time that you have to find out everything, that carbon also, oxygen also. Sometimes it will be clearly asked to you, in carbon dioxide, what is the percentage of carbon? Only. You are just asked only the percentage of carbon, or you may be asked only the percentage of oxygen, or you may be asked the percentage of both. Is it clear, everyone? Fine, good. The second problem, percentage composition of NaOH, percentage composition of NaOH, sodium hydroxide. So firstly, let us find out the molecular weight or molecular mass of sodium hydroxide. Sodium is 23, oxygen 16, hydrogen 1. So 23 plus 16 plus 1, that's equal to the molecular mass of sodium hydroxide is 40. The molecular mass of sodium hydroxide is 40. So in this 40 grams, total is 40. In this 40 grams, there are 23 grams of sodium, 16 grams of oxygen, and 1 gram of hydrogen. Is it clear? So therefore, 40 grams of sodium hydroxide contains 23 grams of Na. 40 grams of sodium hydroxide contains 23 grams of Na. Therefore, 100 grams of NaOH will contain x gram of Na, x gram of or x percent of Na. Therefore, 23 multiplied by 100, 23 multiplied by 100 divided by 40. So it is 57.5% of sodium, 57.5 percentage of sodium. Let us see the percentage of oxygen. 40 gram contains 16 grams of A, 16 grams of oxygen. Therefore, 100 grams of NaOH will contain 16 multiplied by 100, 100 divided by 40. 16 multiplied by 100 divided by 40. Okay, so this will be 40, dear friends. Consider this as a 40. So it becomes around 40% of oxygen, 40% of oxygen. And this hydrogen, 40 grams contains 1 gram. Therefore, 100 will contain, yes, 1 into 100 divided by 40. This will be again 40, dear friends. Let's make this correction. So this will be 1 multiplied by 100 divided by 40. That is 2.5. That is 2.5. So therefore, your sodium hydroxide consists of 57.5 percentage of, yes, 57.5 plus 40%, that is equal to 97.5%, and plus this 2.5, that is equal to 100%. So dear friends, just one thing you have to make is this should be 40. This should be 40. The calculation part is clear, no doubt anything. This should be just 40. So it is 57.5, 40%, and 2.5, total 100%. So this is the percentage composition of sodium hydroxide, Next one, calculate the percentage loss of mass of hydrated copper sulfate when it is completely dehydrated. So copper sulfate, you are going to completely dehydrate, remove the water molecule. And you have to find out what is the loss in percentage. That means how much mass will be reduced or how much percentage of mass will be reduced. Let us see this step by step firstly. Calculate the percentage mass or percentage loss of mass of hydrated copper sulfate when it is completely dehydrated. Dehydrated, you are removing the water molecule. So see the answer. Hydrated copper sulfate is CuSO4.5H2. There are 5 molecules of water also associated. And dehydrated is nothing but CuSO4. It does not contain any water. So firstly find out the mass of hydrated copper sulfate. So molecular weight of hydrated copper sulfate CuSO4.5H2O will be copper is 64, sulfur 32, oxygen 4 atoms. So 4 into 16. 64 plus 32 plus 4 into 16 plus 5 into this water. 5 molecules of water are there. Therefore 5 bracket 2 plus 16. 2 mass of each hydrogen is 1. Therefore 1 hydrogen plus 1 hydrogen, that is total 2. 2 plus 16. So it becomes 64 plus 32 plus 64 of oxygen. Plus 64 of oxygen. And this 90 for water. 90 for water. And that is total 250 grams. Hydrated copper sulfate totally is 250 grams. Totally 250 grams. So go through the calculation part firstly, everyone. Yes. Go through the calculation part. Yes, 64 plus 32 plus 64 plus 90, that is 250. Now dehydrated. Dehydrated. There's no any water molecule. So it will be 64 plus 32 plus 4 into 16. That is equal to 64 plus 32 plus 64. That is equal to 160 grams. 160 grams. So what is the difference in the molecular weight? Here mass 250 minus 160. Hydrated is 250 and dehydrated is 160. So total 250 minus 160 is equal to 90 grams. The difference is 90 grams. So percentage loss will be difference in weight divided by the molecular weight of initial compound. So difference in weight is 90. Initial was 250. For percentage multiplied by 100. So it becomes 36%. Therefore, the percentage loss in mass when hydrated copper sulfate is completely dehydrated is 36%. So the mass reduces by 36%. When I say from 250, the mass comes to 160. From 250, the mass is reduced to 160. Therefore, the mass is reduced by 36%. The mass is reduced up to 36%. So, dear friends, these are few problems on chapter number 1. Just go through these problems once again. Many of the values will be learned to you. Just be, as I said, just over here in this problem of composition, you just have to consider these as a 40. The rest calculation part is clear. Just consider this as a 40, this as a 40. Okay. So, yeah, in the notes that I am going to send, yeah, this will be totally 40. Okay, everyone. So, this was all for today. I'm going to give you the assignment also and the assessment also. Assessment, the Google that you have to solve it online, and assessment online, yeah. And assignment you need to solve in your notebook. You need to solve it in your